Good day everyone! Today we are going to talk about the applications of mirrors and lenses in optical instruments. So let's start with the mirrors. Where do we use mirrors? Mirrors are part of our everyday life. We regularly ourselves in front of our plane mirrors every morning before we leave our homes. There are mirrors found in our vehicles. While driving, we use different shaped mirrors to check on the position of vehicles on the next lane. There are two types of mirrors. We have plane mirrors and spherical mirrors. Now, we use plane mirrors to check our appearance. How about the spherical or curved mirrors? A type of curved mirrors called convex mirrors are used for safety and security purposes, suitable for outdoor and indoor use in shops to prevent theft. As you can see on the first picture, there is a wide range of the objects. This is an example of a convex mirror. So this type of mirrors can also be placed in locations where vehicles are risked of conflicts from blind corners and generally in places with limited visibility. As you can see on the second picture, it is placed on the streets. So we use convex mirrors for safety and security purposes. Other shops use also convex mirrors for the owners to see whether a customer is shoplifting or making bad actions. Another example of convex mirrors, we have rear view mirrors for vehicles and also the shop security mirrors or the traffic mirrors. Another type of spherical mirrors, we have concave mirrors. So these concave mirrors are used in optical instruments such as ophthalmoscope. This instrument consists of a concave mirror with a hole in the center. The doctor focuses through the small hole from behind the concave mirror while a light beam is directed into the pupil of the patient's eye. This makes the retina visible and make it easy for doctors to check. So as you can see on the second picture, the doctor uses a concave mirror. So as he checks the patient's eye, he uses a concave mirror inside his optical instrument. On the first picture, a dentist uses also concave mirrors to check the teeth of the patient. Let's come now to lenses. Lenses are also essential in our daily lives. We are able to see because each of our eyes has lens that produces an image. So our eye is considered as an example of lenses. So we have two eyes, that's why it is called eyeglass lenses. So our eyes produces a real inverted image. But why do we see it in a upright position? We see it in a upright position because our brain corrects it. In fact, all optical devices are part of our everyday life. Many people use eyeglasses while doing their activities. Likewise, magnifying lenses, microscopes, and telescopes are important instruments used for a specific purpose. Images are formed when using these devices following the laws of reflection and refraction. So let's start with the camera. As you can see in the picture, this is a type of a camera which is a digital camera and the anatomy of a lens. So as you can see, there are variety of lenses inside of a camera. So we have different cameras, we have different types of cameras, we also have different types of lenses inside of camera. The anatomy of a lens, the exterior part, we have filter thread, lens hood mounting groove, focusing ring, zoom ring, lens specification markings, distance indicator, depth of field indicators, and aperture ring. So if you have knowledge about photography and about cameras, please share to us. So the camera, just like the images are formed in our eyes, the camera is also a simple application of a lens. The basic element of a camera is a double convex lens that forms a real upside-down image of an optical sensor, usually a charge-coupled device or CCD in a digital camera. To focus the camera, lens is moved toward the CCD to focus on a distant object, or away from the CCD to focus on close objects. The distances in moving the lens back and forth in a camera are typically small. A camera without a lens is useless to a photographer. The lens is what focuses light from what you see through the viewfinder into a tiny, typically 35mm spot on the back of your film, DSLR or mirrorless camera. If you remove the lens from your camera, only the kind of image you can produce is white light. Consequently, a high-quality lens can help you capture great photos even with a cheap camera, while a low-quality lens can make the best camera mediocre and the resulting image quality is poor. So, if you want to buy a camera, please check the quality of the lenses. A lens is a tool used to bring light to a fixed focal point. In a film camera, the lens sends the light to the film strip, while in a digital camera, like DSLRs or mirrorless cameras, the lens directs light to a digital sensor. Camera lenses are made up of a series of glass plates that are convex or curve outward or concave curve inward. As you have seen the picture a while ago, there are different types of lenses inside the camera. So, we have different kinds of cameras. We also have different kinds of lenses. 5 basic types of camera lenses. There are 2 basic categories of camera lenses. We have first the prime lenses. Primes have a fixed lens focal length, making them faster and sharper. While prime lenses are less flexible due to the fixed focal length, they are also fast and lightweight, making them easy to travel with. So cameras that are lightweight do have prime lenses. Next category, we have the zoom lenses. Zooms use a series of lenses to allow different focal lengths from a single lens, making them more flexible but not as fast. They contain more glass, which aids in their flexibility, but they also tend to be bigger and heavier than prime lenses. Within both prime and zoom types of lenses, there are a variety of lenses, all with different focal lengths. So there are 5 basic types of lenses. First, we have macro lenses. This type of camera lens is used to create very close-up macro photographs. They have a unique design that allows them to produce sharp images at extremely close range. These lenses are great for nature photography, enabling you to capture an enormous amount of detail in one image. So, as you can see, some of the nature photographs, for example, a photograph with pollen grain of a flower. So, it is extremely close range. It uses macro lenses. Second type is the telephoto lenses. Telephoto lenses are a type of zoom lens with multiple focal points. These type of lenses are great for isolating a subject that is far away. However, such great magnification comes at the price of a narrower field of view. In the same way that you would use a telescope to look at stars and planets, a telephoto lens is used for focusing in on distant objects. So many sports photographers use telephoto lenses to provide a sense of intimacy with the subjects on the field or the players while standing on the sidelines or in the bleachers. There are many different types of telephoto lenses, and some can be quite large, heavy, and expensive. So take some time in choosing the right telephoto lens. Wide-angle lenses. Wide-angle lenses are ideal for fitting a large area into your frame. This is especially useful for landscape photography or street photography, With wide-angle lenses, almost everything is in focus unless your subject is very close to the lens. So, an example of this wide-angle lenses is the use of panorama. Next, we have standard lenses. Standard lenses can be used for a variety of different types of photography. Their focal lengths fall somewhere in the middle, usually between 35 mm and 85 mm. A zoom lens within this range will have a small enough focal length at the bottom end to take a wider angle, full frame photo, and a large enough to focal length at the top end to zoom in on subjects. Last one, we have specialty lenses. Finally, there are some more specialized camera lenses that can impart a unique look and feel to your photographs. There are several types of specialty camera lenses, but a few of the most prominent examples are: first, we have fisheye lenses. A fisheye lens is an ultra-wide angle lens that can take in a full 180 degrees radius around it. Fisheye lenses are so named because they distort an image field of view, making even a room in a house look like a bubble. So it looks like a bubble because it has 180 degrees radius. Next one is the tilt shift lens. A tilt shift lens distorts perspective, making things look smaller than they really are, almost as if they are toys. Next one, we have infrared lens. These lenses play with light rather than perspective, filtering out all light waves except infrared for a unique visual effect. So, in our modern days, there are many visual effects of cameras. Next application of lenses, we have the microscope. So as you can see, there are two types of lenses in that microscope. We have the eyepiece or the ocular lenses, and we also have the objective lenses. So here is the ocular lenses, and here is the objective lenses. Microscope. The basic optical elements of a microscope are the objective lens and the eyepiece lens. The objective lens is a converging lens with a relatively short focal length that is placed near the object to be viewed. So as you can see, the objective lens is the nearest lens in the object or the specimen. So we put our specimen in a slide and put it in here, and we focus the objective lenses for the right light to come in. It forms a real upside down and enlarged image of the object. To focus the microscope, the precise location of this image is adjusted by moving the tube containing the eyepiece lens and the objective lens up and down. The image formed by the objective lens serves as the object of the second lens of the microscope, which is the eyepiece. So the first lens of the microscope is the objective lens. The second lens is the ocular or the eyepiece lens. The first lens of a microscope is the one closest to the object being examined, and for this reason is called the objective. Light from either an external or internal or within the microscope body source is first passed through the substage condenser, which forms a well-defined light cone that is concentrated onto the object or the specimen. Light passes through the specimen and into the objective, similar to the projection lens of the projector, which then projects a real inverted and magnified image of the specimen to a fixed plane within the microscope that is termed the intermediate image plane. So the objective lens has several major functions. The objective must gather the light coming from each of of the various parts or points of the specimen. So the objective lens is the one who gather lights in the different parts of the specimen. The objective must have the capacity to reconstitute the light coming from the various points of the specimen into the various corresponding points in the image, sometimes called anti-points. The objective must be constructed so that it will be focused close enough to the specimen so that it will project a magnified real image up into the body tube. So the second lens is the eyepiece or ocular lens, which fits into the body tube at the upper end. It is the farthest optical component from the specimen. In modern microscopes, the eyepiece is held into place by a shoulder on the top of the microscope observation tube, which keeps it from falling into the tube. The placement of the eyepiece is such that its upper lens further magnifies the real image projected by the objective. The eye of the observer sees this secondarily magnified image at a distance of 10 inches or 25 centimeters from the eye. Hence, this virtual image appears as if it were near the base of the microscope. So the eyepiece has several major functions. The eyepiece serves to further magnify the real image projected by the objective. In visual observation, the eyepiece produces a secondarily enlarged virtual image. In photomicrography, it produces a secondarily enlarged real image projected by the objective. So, this objective is the objective lenses. This augmented real image can be projected on the photographic film in a camera or upon a screen held above the eyepiece. The eyepiece can be fitted with scales, markers, or crosshairs, often referred to as graticules, reticules, or reticles, in such a way that the image of these inserts can be superimposed on the image of the specimen. Let's come now to another application of lenses. So we have telescope. A refracting telescope is similar in many ways to a microscope. Both optical instruments use for two converging lenses to produce a magnified image of an object. So converging lenses or convex lenses. In that case of a microscope, the object is small and close at hand. However, in the case of the telescope, the object is large, but its apparent size can be very small because of its great distance. So, as we know that the telescope uses to see very far away astronomical bodies. The major difference between these instruments is that the telescope must deal with an object that is essentially infinitely far away. So that is an example of a refracting telescopes. It uses convex lenses. So as you can see here, the light is coming from here. Large lens gathers and bends light. So this is a convex lens, and the light focuses here, and going to the eyepiece, small lens magnifies and focuses light for your eyes. So this is the eyepiece. We have here the second lens, and the primary lens is here. Small lens, eyepiece, large lens, the objective. Large lens or the objective lenses. So as you can see, the light converging towards the eyepiece. So we have here another type of telescope, which is reflecting telescope. So in reflecting telescope uses mirrors and lenses. As you can see here, there are primary mirror and there are secondary mirror. A reflecting telescope uses a convex lens and two mirrors to make an object appear bigger. The light is collected by the large concave mirror, which is the primary mirror. Then the parallel rays traveling toward this mirror are reflected and focused to the certain point, that is the secondary plane mirror. So the secondary plane mirror is placed within the focal length of the primary concave mirror. This changes the direction of the light. So as you can see here, this is the primary mirror, which is a concave. So light from here, light from celestial body toward the big primary concave mirror, and after that it will reflect to the plane mirror here, and from plane mirror it goes to the eyepiece, which is convex lens. Another picture of a reflecting mirror. So from here, going to the primary, which is concave mirror, going to the plane mirror, and after that it will reflect again to the eyepiece, which has convex lens. So those are my references. Thank you for listening.